Okay, guys, so thanks for joining the LinkedIn Live. So I'm going to share with you how you can grow your plumbing and heating business without spending big on ads. That's the whole topics that we're going to cover today. So I'm going to share with you three simple growth pillars that are going to help you get more leads and more repeat work without spending big on ads or using fancy tools. I just want to make sure I'm broadcasting live. Yes, I am. That's all good. A few little technical hiccups. So we'll start again. So the idea of today's live, tonight's live, so thanks for joining me, is helping you grow your plumbing and heating business without spending big on ads. Really, really important. Not every business has a budget for ads. So I'm going to share three growth pillars that are going to help you get more leads next year and more repeat work without spending big. So without further ado, we're just going to go through. So the webinar tonight is, so it's only about 20 minutes. So it's short and sweet, but hopefully you're going to get tons of value from it. So just a very quick introduction. Nobody likes doing this, but I think it's important that you understand who I am. So my name is Steve Mark, and I've been working in marketing for just over 20 years, and 5 of those at a senior board level. And 15 years of those, I've been specialising in working with trades and construction businesses and then helping them to deliver growth in their brand, but also in their revenue and ultimately their profits. And current client roster includes plumbing and heating businesses, electrical businesses, joinery, and civil engineering and construction businesses. So why should you watch this presentation until the end? Well, reason number one is you want more type of the right type of work. So you want more of the right type of work. So not just any job, but the work that suits your skills and builds your reputation. Number two, you do good work currently, but you still suffer from feast and famine, something that I'm sure we're all familiar with. So you know you're capable, but the phone doesn't ring as often as it should. And then reason number three, you just don't have the budgets for running ads. So instead of buying leads or spending big on ads, you want to make better use of what you've already got in your business, the good work that you're doing. You want to make more of it. So what you're going to get from this presentation is three things. You're going to get a short list of actions that are going to help you move the needle forward for your growth. So no fluff. It's just going to be practical tactics that you can start using straight away. Secondly, you're going to get a weekly routine that you can stick to. So simple habits that take just about 30 minutes a week and help build momentum over time. And then the third thing is you'll end up with a clear plan to get more work without spending big on ads. And as you'll tell, that's the kind of theme for this webinar, is helping you get more leads for your business without blowing lots of money on ads. Ads do work, but they're obviously quite expensive to start running initially. So let's start with a simple idea, and that's people decide whether they want to work with you before they ring you. So they judge your business from your Google business page, your reviews, and a look at your website. Your job is to be the obvious and trusted choice locally. When someone's boiler packs up or they need a quote, they don't want to gamble. Instead, they want to work with someone local, trusted, and credible. And then simple idea number two, and this is the big one, AI is changing the game in how customers are searching. So when someone searches for a local service, AI is increasingly summarizing answers and recommending businesses. And this is shifting the game big time for local businesses. So AI is looking for trust signals, genuine authority on your website, reviews. It wants to show businesses with clear and helpful information on their website. And it wants to show quality content that really understands and helps customers move from their pain to their solution. So being the obvious choice now means being credible to not just humans, but AI tools. And I've got an example for you. So earlier on, I did a little search for boiler servicing company in Leighton Buzzard, and it gave me the option to turn this into an AI search. And what that has done has kind of completely flipped the script for local businesses. So as you can see there, it's not just presented me with a list of options, but it's given me a lot more detail on those businesses. Now, luckily for me, one of the top results, Vedetta Heating and Plumbing, is actually one of my clients. So it's proof that this kind of process that I'm going to take you through on this call works. So it's scraping a lot of information on that business, not the information that the business wants to give, but it's taking the information that it can find online, and it's kind of assembling it in a trust order. So highest rated plumbing and heating businesses, ones with most credibility, most accreditations, proof essentially that they're the best in the business. So this is how AI is changing the game, and you probably don't even realize it. So what does good look like right now? So good looks like regularly showing up in the map pack. We're going to go through that in a second. Your reviews are growing steadily and not in short bursts. Your past customers hear from you and book again. We're going to take you through that. And your website builds trust and credibility fast. So as soon as somebody lands on it, they automatically trust you, and you're more likely to get a call from them and an opportunity to do business. So the 3 tactical pillars I'm going to take you through today that are going to help you grow. So number 1, we're going to go through and we're going to have a little look at Google Business. Number 2, we're going to have a look at 2 things, CRM, customer relationship management, and job management tools. And the third, and probably the most important, is your website. And we want to make sure that it's not a leaky bucket or a leaky pipe. So this is kind of what it looks like. This is your no ads growth plan. So tap number 1 that you want to switch on is your Google Business, and tap number 2 is your past and present customers. Not enough businesses make the most of existing customers, people that they've already got, people that have already bought from them and trust them. And I'm going to take you through a little method and a little strategy on how you can do that. And then if you imagine your bucket is your revenue, and of course, if you've got links in it, which is your website, then that revenue, those clicks, those phone calls are just going to seep through the bucket. So it's important you strengthen your bucket, which is effectively your website. And that's the third thing that I'm going to take you through on this call. So we're going to whiz through these because we've only got 20 minutes and I want us to try and stick to that. So pillar number 1 is your Google Business profile. This is your shop window to the world, and many people decide here actually without visiting your website. So although your website is important, your Google Business listing is very, very important. So you want to make sure that you've got the basics right on your profile. If you don't know how to set up a Google Business profile, drop me a direct message. I'll happily help you. We can just jump on a call and I'll do it for free for you, because this is really important. So get the basics right on your profile. You've got 3 steps to do that. Number 1, pick the right primary category. Google Business has hundreds of categories. You can have more than 1 category. So you can have plumber, heating contractor, central heating service, gas engineer. You can have multiple, but make sure you pick ones that are relevant to the core services that you offer. Fill in your services and your areas properly. So make sure that you've got all of your products on there and all of the areas that you cover within your Google Business. And you can select multiple areas. You don't have to be refined to one, although it will tend to sort of prioritize 1 or 2 areas rather than lots of areas. And you can put nationally if you're a national business, and you can have more than 1 Google Business profile if you've got multiple locations around the country. And add a clear description. From my recollection, Google Business gives you 750 characters you can use to detail exactly what your business is, what it does, who it does it for, and where it does it. And it will take steer from what you put in that box. So don't just write a load of fluff about your business. Use it to describe the areas that you cover, the services that you offer, what you specialize in, because Google will build up a picture of your business from that description. So make sure you maximize that as much as you can. And as you can see on the right-hand side of the screen there is an example of a really good Google Business profile. And it just happens to be one of my customers again. But as you can see there, nearly 300 reviews, all of them nearly 5-star. So a really good example of a Google Business profile. And as you'll see in a minute, he's driving a lot of leads for his business. So part 2 of this is once you've got your Google Business profile established, you need to build a regular, steady review habit. Reviews are really, really critical for Google Business. They're kind of the lifeblood of Google Business. And as you can see there from the example, there is a certain prioritization. You know, there's dozens of companies that could have been listed in that search that I did there, but it's prioritized 3, and it's no mistake that those 3 have very high customer review scores. So make sure that when you're driving reviews and you're asking for reviews, you do it at a point in the sale, in the transaction, in the job, where the customer's the most happiest. And that's usually just before you leave the house, having fixed their heating, fixed a leaky tap, or fixed a leaky radiator. So my advice is get some business cards printed up with a QR code on it, and then get the customer to scan it before you leave and leave a nice little 5-star review. If you don't manage to do that, then I'm going to share with you in a moment ways that you can do it after you leave the house. And then it's going to help you build a steady review habit, and you'll be gathering reviews in no time. You know, I promise you this one thing: most of your competition aren't doing this. So when you look at Google Business Profiles, I'd say about 90% have 1 or 2 or no reviews. So if you do this regularly, you'll amass hundreds of reviews, and you'll get prioritized by Google. So the way that we do this is, if you don't manage to do it when you're on the job, then you can send them an email fairly quickly afterwards. And there's an example template on the right-hand side. If you want this template, then again, send me a message and I'll send it to you. This works really well. We get about 30 or 40% response rate on these emails that we send. Kind of tugs at the heartstrings a little bit, but it works, and it's working to get hundreds of reviews in. And then the third step of your Google Business Profile is you want to add real photos every week. So when you do a job, before, after pictures, and if you can, Google Business also allows you to post updates. So just doing one of those a week shows to Google, indicates to Google that you're a very active and live business. Finally, so if you do this consistently with Google Business, trust me, the leads will start to flow. So this is a little case study on Vedetta Heating I've kind of used during this presentation. So over the last 6 months, he's had over 3,200 views of his Google business listing. Of those 3,200 reviews, 150 of them have turned into phone calls, and 344 website visits. So he's had 150 phone calls from people that need his service. And then further to that, he's generated another 344 clicks through to his website. And his website converts at roughly 15 to 20%. So that's roughly about another 50 or 60 leads. So before we wrap up on this Google Business section, growth pillar, that's an additional 200 leads every 6 months that's coming into his business. That is an average of 1 a day, free, no ad spend, just spending 10 or 15 minutes a week doing those 3 things. So quick checklist: clear services listed, clear areas covered, recent reviews, recent photos, and a profile that looks like it's alive. Do those things and Google Business will give you leads for your business coming into next year. Okay, pillar number 2, making the most of past customers. Not enough businesses do this, but it's one of the cheapest ways that you can grow your business. Instead of chasing lots of new customers, just make the most of existing customers that you've got. I just want to check on time, make sure we're on time. Good. So there's two tools here that you can use, and I just want to very quickly explain the difference. So a CRM system is different to a job management tool. So job management tool could be like Powered Now or Tradeify, but a CRM system is something like, you might have heard of a tool like HubSpot or ActiveCampaign or MailerLite or even MailChimp, you know, would kind of fall into that bracket. So a CRM, a customer relationship management system, helps you track and nurture your customer relationships. It's about staying on their radar, not just during the job. So it's good for marketing to existing customers, but it's not so good for job management. Whereas a job management tool, JMT for short, handles loads in your business. So scheduling, invoicing, job progress, you know, what time the engineer is going to be at the front door. Whereas your CRM focuses on who your customers are, what services they've had, and when they might need you again. So a job management tool is good for managing customer jobs, but they're just notoriously not great for managing for customer and prospect marketing. They're pretty lousy for that. So this is how you turn one-off clients into loyal, repeatable business through targeted communications during the year. And this is what it starts to look like. So step one of using these sort of tools is setting up service reminders in your JMT. So boiler service reminders, landlord safety reminders, and keep these really helpful. They shouldn't be salesy communications. So this is step one, setting up timely reminders so that customers hear from you at least once a year when their boiler needs reservicing or when there's another landlord safety certificate that needs doing. They get a message through your job management tool. Your CRM can also do this, but this is the job of the job management tool. And the second thing I want you to do is think about seasonal campaigns in your business. So this is where your CRM system comes into play. And this is where you can set up and run just 2 simple campaigns a year. One seasonal campaign in spring and summer. So system health checks, power flush, radiator upgrades, while the heating's off, perfect time to sort of go and do that sort of work. One message and then just a follow-up one a week later to make sure they got it. And then the next campaign I want you to set up is an autumn and winter campaign. So before their boiler starts getting switched on in September, October, some sort of winter readiness check that you could offer. Boiler service plans are great to make sure that they're not, caught out in the cold, and any smart control upgrades. So again, same approach, simple, seasonal, and really just sensible approaches to make sure that you stay in touch. And then the final thing is step 3 of this, looking after your existing customers, is when the job is finished, schedule just 2 or 3 things. So number 1, thank them. Number 2, ask for a review. And number 3, offer some sort of up or cross-sell opportunity. So if you've installed a boiler, you could offer your boiler service plan, for example. In the same email, you can ask for a review. So this is 3 steps to making sure that you stay in touch with your existing customers. Service reminders, seasonal campaigns, and scheduling as soon as the job's finished. So number 3, we're pretty much on track. I want to try and get finished as soon as I can, so you're not sort of wasting too much of your time, because you can watch this back. So pillar number 3, websites basics to get you found online. So your website should absolutely not be a brochure. 3-4 pages, absolutely not. It should be a trust builder. It should answer questions quickly, clearly, and prove that you're the safe choice for them. So just 3 things are going to automatically separate you out from the crowd. Number 1 clear page per core service. Too many websites. I audit dozens of websites every month. Too many websites just have all of the information on one page. It's not clear for the customer, it's not clear for Google, and it's not clear for AI what you specialize in. So split those into individual pages. Not only is it good for humans, it's great for your search engine optimization and good for AI. Number 2, simple pricing. So if you don't want to give your exact pricing, you can put from prices. But pricing is really, really, really important, because think about it. You as a customer, you want to know how much something is before you pick up the phone or before you put in an email inquiry. So why should it be any different in your industry? Customers want to know a rough idea of pricing. And it's not just customers that want to know that. AI tools are now giving prominence to websites with clear pricing. And number 3, you want social proof scattered throughout your website, reviews, accreditations, real photos, not just stock photos, case study examples, stack the evidence as much as you can. This really helps to convince humans and ensures you get cited by AI. So those 3 things, clear service pages, simple pricing, and lots of proof scattered throughout your website. And I've got an example of a site here. Again, it's one of our clients, but I think it's a good example of what really builds trust and credibility very, very quickly when you land on this page, and it converts really well as well from clicks into calls and emails. So there's a few things here that help to build trust. You've got your Which logo up in the top. If you don't have Which, then there'll be lots of alternatives, lots of other trade accreditations that you can use there. There's also a Checkatrade logo. We could put the GasSafe logo there, but you don't want to stack too much. It's easy to get in touch. So there's prominent and repeated call to action buttons. There's a call button on the main header. There's a call button in the top right-hand corner. And when it's mobile, those buttons stay there as well. So they're visible as soon as somebody lands on the website. And the why is clear. 300 local 5-star reviews, boiler finance offered, GasSafe, Worcester Bosch, it's all there. And real photos. So that's the photo of the founder working, and you go through the rest of the website and it's all there. Real photos, no stock images. Stock images are a complete turn off. And with iPhones, smartphones, it's never been easier to get a handful of pictures on your website that are you. And then the final thing is, in the orange bar, there's more trust signals. We call that a benefits bar. There's more trust signals there. So this is kind of what it looks like when you put everything together. You've got your pillar one, your Google business profile. So important to turning on the tap. You've got your second growth pillar, which is your past customers, past and present customers, and prospects, people that might not have bought from you but got in touch and had a need, but just kind of went a bit dark. And then pillar number 3 is that website that builds trust, builds credibility. And just under there, you've got your kind of roughly half an hour a week growth routine. So you can do this yourself, or you can employ somebody to do it. But 10 minutes should be adding job photos to the website and to your Google business. You need to be making sure you've got those reminders scheduled. So you kind of got your 30 minutes there. Requesting reviews should be another 10 or 15 minutes. So those 3 things are going to help to power your growth plan. So that's it. I promised I'd be about 20 minutes, and that's what it is. So if you've enjoyed that and you want to know more, I'm doing a free 5-minute video growth audit. So that's where if you visit that website link, wearesmc.co.uk/marketing-for-plumbers, you will find on there a form. Put your website address in there, and I will personally look at your website, look at your online presence, and I will do a 5-minute video growth audit. Short, sweet, snappy, but you'll get at least 3 quick wins for your business, and it'll help to get you on the path for consistent leads without spending a penny on ads. So that just about wraps it up. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope it was useful. And if you do want any help on anything that I've mentioned throughout that presentation, drop me a message on LinkedIn and I'll jump on a call with you, and we can look and we can get some of it done for free for you, at least get you off and running. But do have a look at that growth audit. I do about a dozen or so a month, so a few a week, and they're really good. So hope that was useful, and thank you for watching.